Hey, what's up, YouTube? Got another movie for y'all. It's been a while since I recorded the last one. And you know what? I did one on Soul, but on my other channel. So I am going to upload it to this channel as well, since we are all about reviews you can use over here. So before we get started, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button because I got a whole host of stuff that's coming to y'all. So the first one I want to talk about Synchronicity. Synchronicity on Netflix. Oh my God, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It's kind of low budget, but it has one of my favorite people on there, Anthony Mackie. I love Anthony Mackie. Ever since I seen him in She Hates Me. It's a Spike Lee movie, came out a long time ago. It's very old, and I was like, man, he tall, chocolate, stuff like that. So yeah, I've been a fan of his for a very long time. So Synchronicity on Netflix, I'm gonna put in the bucket that you need to watch if you have not watched it. It's a very deep movie, and spoiler alert. Um, in this movie, it's basically about, so let me give you a quick synopsis. So Anthony is this guy. He's got some kind of health issue that they don't really say at the beginning at first. So he's battling some kind of health issue that we don't know about. And he's at this job that he obviously, you could tell he kind of doesn't like the job. He's a paramedic with his best friend, and he was very close to his best friend's family. They got family outings and everything. So he is close to the family and his best friend's daughter, so he's like another father figure for her. It's like my parents don't understand me, so I got uncle over here. You know how you got that uncle or auntie that you can talk and tell stuff to that you may not be able to necessarily tell your parents. So it was like that dynamic between him and the friend's daughter. So he's easy to talk to, and they formed a bond that way. Well, because of this father daughter uncle niece friend perspective with them, she gets lost. It goes missing. Nobody knows where she is. So the whole plot of the movie is trying to find out, how do we find her and get her back. So at the same token in time, there's this new drug in town in which they found out that she took the drug, but it wasn't like your typical drug. It wasn't like at first they thought maybe it was heroin addicts or something like that when they would come up on these scenes where people had been murdered and find like horrendous stuff, but they would find like little trinkets here and there. You know how killer would leave like a little trace or whatever, but it at different crime spots so they could trace it back to the same thing. So would find this drug, and so he went on his rampage to try to rid the drug because it was accessible in gas stations, kind of like how when fake marijuana was available at the gas station and you can go get it. So it was like a synthetic drug, and so it was able to be sold in stores because it's missing certain molecules in it that would deem it illegal. So he stole the medicine. The guy who was making the medicine was finding out, the effects that it really had, and also going around trying to buy up all the medicine and get rid of it. And he followed Anthony Mackie to his house, and they had their little run in or whatever. And so that's when the guy was like, it's not what you think, you know, people with non-calcified pineal glands. So this is where you start getting into spiritual talks when you're talking about the pineal gland. And it's been long studied that the pineal gland holds a lot of, it's that third eye, basically. It holds the power of unlocking more than 10% of your brain. And so this is what that scientist was able to do with the drug. He removed molecules, so it was not illegal, but it activated an uncalcified pineal gland. And even though the Anthony Mackie's character was having some kind of health issue, he had the pineal gland of a teenager, which is why this drug worked on so well on younger people. Well, he decided to try it. And come to find out, this drug not only activated that pineal gland, it activated the part to where you're able to time travel. And so, depending on where you're standing when you take this drug, is what time period on the timeline. And you know what it makes me think about? I'll say this till I'm blue in the face. I am a Marvel fan, and you know how we just opened up the multiverse. So it's almost like when you're standing in a room, every part of the room is a different part of the multiverse. So if you're wanting to time travel, you can stand in. I could be in this spot, and this will take me to a different point in time, or I can go and stand over in the corner, and it's going to take me to a different point in time. And this is where he was kind of finding out. So wherever he activated his pineal gland at, whatever timeline was in that spot is where he went to. And you know what's interesting about that to me is the concept of light speed kind of like hit me today, to where when you look up in the sky and you're looking at the sun and the moon and the stars, so you got the sun is X amount of light years away. When we're looking up in space at these lights, it takes light years are actually it's time measurement. It's not actually like a mile per hour or a kilomile. It's time measurement. So every time you look up at the sun, you're looking at the sun as it was 8 minutes ago. When you're looking at the moon, you're looking at the moon as it was 3 minutes ago. And if you got a telescope and you're looking at a star, the nearest, they say the nearest, the Andromeda um, galaxy, our next nearest galaxy, it's like some years. Like if you could see it in a telescope, you looking at it years ago, because by the time the light reaches us, it's already in the future. So it has me thinking about these different things, like how time is so crazy. Time is the one thing that we all take for granted, whether you're wasting time or, time in different dimension. Every, spot in the time is a different dimension. I don't know if y'all remember that movie with Tom Cruise. And they went up in space and he was sending himself messages. Oh, what is the name of that movie? I can't think of the name of the movie right now. But he was sending himself messages from that timeline that he was in. Even one of the planets that they went on, you spend an hour on that planet and 30 years have gone by when you go get back up on the ship. Like time is just, it's just one of those things we just take for granted. It is a commodity, is a true commodity. Time influences a lot of things, and we think that it's expendable, it's replaceable, and it's not. It's not. It's nothing to be taken lightly. So that's kind of what I got out of this movie, Synchronicity, and the being able to time travel using our pineal glands. Science has yet to determine the extent of the power of the pineal gland. And I think when, a science quacks on to something with that. So let me know if you watched the movie, if you got plans to watch it. It's a very deep movie. Don't let it looking kind of low budget scare you off. It's a really good movie. And tell me what you think in the comments. All right, if you got the time. All right. Holla.